Most of us grew up playing childhood sports our entire life, whether it's Pony League for baseball, NJB for basketball, golf, tennis, or a variety of other sports. And while not all of us played football, most of us know the sounds. The grunts, the hits of the pads, helmets slamming on the ground, and the cringes and subsequent oohs that come after watching each hit. Now, I myself played high school football, and I remember on 2 occasions taking such hits and wanting nothing to do with the sport after. Now imagine your child, but play after play, season after season, weekend after weekend, and year after year. And you don't think those hits won't have a long-lasting effect? Well, today, I'm here to persuade you that kids should not play tackle football. I'm going to go into some of the problems involved, the causes of those problems, and I'm going to give you a couple unique solutions on how to deal with this. So let's get into the problems. The main problem is your child will be at an exponentially higher risk of developing CTE, or chronic traumatic encephalopathy. Now, according to the LA Times on May 1st of 2018, they did a study that showed that adults who played tackle football before the ages of 12, for each year they played football, they showed signs of CTE 2.5 years prior for every single year played. And that's especially alarming because let's not forget, CTE is currently something that can only be diagnosed post-mortem or once you're deceased. Now, another problem is concussions. Your child is at a much higher risk for concussions. According to the Wall Street Journal on January 19th of 2018, they did a study of just one high school season that showed that 1 in 5 kids from either team would go on to develop a concussion in that one season. And this is very alarming because even in high school, our brains aren't fully developed, our children's brains are still vulnerable, and they need to be taking the least amount of hits as possible. So now that we've looked into some of the problems, what are the causes? Well, the first cause is kids are playing at much too young of an age. According to CNN on November 8th of 2017, they did a study that showed that in the US, 982,000 kids between the ages of 6 and 12 were playing tackle football in some form already. Even the New York Times on September 9th of 2019 said that in just one season, kids 8 through 13, they did a study on them, and in just one season, they already showed signs of not CTE, but they showed signs of stuff that is related to CTE, cognitive issues, mental disorders, anger, depression, other symptoms like that. Another cause is, let's face it, us as Americans, we love our football. According to the New York Times also, but on February 2nd of 2018, their study showed that 111.3 million people turned into NBC's broadcast of the Super Bowl in the year 2016. That's significant because that's going to make it exponentially harder, if not impossible, to have a large amount of parents and families pull their kids from football at such an early age and wait until high school. So, now that we've seen some of the causes, what are some of the solutions? Well, according to ABC News on October 30th of 2018, state legislators in New York actually proposed a unique but very controversial idea of banning football altogether for kids. Now, it wasn't banning it forever, but it was banning tackle football prior to the age of 12. And they followed suit, trying to make it the third state, just like the states of New Jersey and Massachusetts did before them. Another unique solution would be to try another sport. Now, I know off the bat that doesn't seem like a unique solution. There's basketball, golf, hockey, wrestling, other contact sports, but sports that we've all seen. But luckily, now more than ever, high schools have much more different array of sports to be played competitively. Some schools have paddling, some schools have sailing, some schools even have bass fishing. So today, I tried to persuade you that kids should not play tackle football. We looked into some of the problems involved, the causes of those problems, and I tried to offer just a couple of unique solutions as to how to work around it. So maybe next time, if your child or someone close to you asks you about playing football at a young age, try to inform them. Have your call to action be giving them unbiased but factual information, and don't just turn them down. Offer solutions. Try to get them in another sport. And if it's not a sport, maybe a club, a chess club, after school activities such as community service, anything. As long as we're getting our kids out of tackle football at a young age, we can help protect our children's brains, and we can help stop the rising causes and rising numbers of concussions and CTE in our children from playing tackle football.